Awesome. All right, so we've got my client Jonathan. I'm stoked to have you on today, man. It's been an absolute pleasure working with Jonathan, by the way, guys. He's been absolutely killing it. I think we started off at about 190 pounds, and he weighed in today. He said at about 171. So yeah, I'm really stoked to have you on, Jonathan. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, so my name's Jonathan. I'm a current grad student right now, engineering grad student, and I also work full time. So I'm a pretty busy person and got a lot going on, applying for new jobs all the time. And I just wanted to, really look for some kind of support system and, find someone that actually, dedicates their time fully to me so I don't have to do much thinking during, my day-to-day life.
Yeah, yeah, dude, absolutely. I remember Jonathan is like one of the busiest people in the program. Like this dude is full-time in school, full-time in work. So we definitely had a lot of things to do in terms of like scheduling and when you would travel for work. So I know that was like a really important thing. And yeah, man, I fully agree. I feel like when you work with a coach, it like takes away the thinking for you because you're obviously already very busy thinking about like work and school. And the last thing you want to think about is like, okay, what should I eat today? Or like, what workouts do I need to be doing to like see results, right? So yeah, man, absolutely. And I guess I just want to ask, man, like, where would you say you were at, before joining the program and then now after joining the program?
Yeah, so before, I mean, it was around maybe middle of January or something. And it was pretty difficult time. I mean, I've been working out consistently for a while before that, maybe like 6 months or something. And I've been working out like my whole life, right? Ever since I was like 16. But it, I was doing, I guess, everything in kind of moderation and not really giving my full dedication to something.
Yeah,
So I really was looking for, a help to dedicate myself so that I actually care about something. Instead of just casually
casually,
working,
yeah.
casually dieting, and now actually, caring about weighing every single gram of food I'm eating or, how long I'm actually um, on an exercise and pushing myself to get like RPE 9.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it was pretty hard before, and I realized like it can get easier.
Yeah.
Um, that's pretty much what I was looking at.
Yeah, yeah, dude, absolutely, man. And I fully agree with you there, man. Like I think something that I've been saying lately is just that progress that doesn't get measured doesn't get improved. And dude, like I feel like I see myself in you a lot, like because we both kind of started this the same way. Like I had been lifting before I worked with my coach, Cody, for a while, but it was kind of that same thing where I wasn't really like meticulous about anything. Like I wasn't tracking my lifts. Like I was just kind of lollygagging in the gym, just doing whatever my friends were doing. But then as soon as like you work with a coach, you realize like, okay, if like I actually just get serious about tracking my progress and like what I'm doing, like it's so easy to manipulate that so I can actually start to see, results. Because obviously, I mean, I think for everyone, they just want to make the most out of their time. You don't just want to be going to the gym and not seeing results or like dieting and not seeing results. So that's why it's so important to actually, be tracking. And so, yeah, man, I'm really, really glad you brought that up, man. And let's talk a little bit about, your journey and like maybe any struggles you went through and how you overcame them.
Yeah, so I mean, journey was pretty difficult. I'd say like the beginning was probably the hardest part for me
Yeah.
mentally, physically. I was not feeling good changing my routine lifestyle. I mean, it wasn't in a bad way. It was just that when you see a change in your life, you tend to, stray away from that change, even if it's meant to be good for you. So, for
Mhm.
example, a calorie deficit, it's gonna hurt a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be good for you later on. So,
Of
just
course.
pursue through it. And also, getting sick multiple times, that was pretty difficult, for sometimes like a week on end. And even right now, I'm a little bit sick too, but just realizing that, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's
Of
not going to
course.
hold you back in terms of your goals. And you're just going to go through it like another week, might slow you down a little bit, but just put in the work when you get back. I'm always a big fan of, putting in double the work once I get back. I know maybe some people might not like that,
Hmm.
but when I lose track and I want to get back on track, I like to push myself a little bit extra just to, rebalance myself out.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man. I'm sort of like the same way. Like if I get sick or like I just know I'm not putting it my all. Like one week, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna come in like next week, just like swinging. Because yeah, it's like the same thing. I just want to really go back full force and take advantage as much as I can. Like especially if I was sick or something. And yeah, dude, I really like how you mentioned that of course, there's going to be some things that are uncomfortable, like a calorie deficit. And that's so true, man, because that's why they're called growing pains. It hurts, but it's the only way you're going to grow. You have to do different habits if you want a different outcome. And, there's going to be some friction there because you're so used to, I'm not saying like you in specific, but like whenever you're trying to make a change, you're so used to the habits you've been doing that have kept you where you are. So, of course, there's going to be some friction when you're trying to improve, and it's gonna kind of suck at first, with tracking your calories, going to the gym, but it's what you have to do to really see results. So yeah, man, I'm really glad you brought that up because it's not always just like sunshine and rainbows. Like, yeah, we just lost weight so easily. Like it was like a smooth process. Like, no, there's gonna be some growing pains, and that's the reality of weight loss. But yeah, dude, absolutely. And I want to talk about like what would you say is the biggest change you made, throughout these 3 months, Jonathan?
Probably, actually tracking you letting me know to remind me about that because I used to track like a long time ago, but I forgot about it and I guess maybe I didn't believe in it again. But actually tracking is probably the most important, helpful, and biggest change that I've made. And then also, just changing my mindset to apply more discipline.
Hmm.
Um, Realize that, I'm actually gonna go through with this. I actually care enough now for myself,
Hmm.
not for anyone else. It's really just all on me. Realizing that, you're kind of, I guess, alone in this is a good thing in some ways
Yeah.
because you don't have any excuses. You don't have anyone else to rely on. You don't
Yeah.
got other people telling you, oh, hey, like pulling you away from your goals. Um, I'd say maybe one of the other things that I did was it might not be a good thing for everyone, but I've cut out like a lot of things in my life to really pursue certain goals.
Hmm.
And this one of them. So I, pushed back on like going out, friends, and just in general, social life maybe. And that might
Yeah.
not be the best thing for some people, but for me, I felt that I needed that because I've always been, social. So I would always
Hmm.
uh, like continue to hang with friends even while doing other things. And that might have held me back for a little bit. But, for just this brief period of time, it really helped me. So that's another thing that might not apply to everyone, but it definitely helped me out.
Yeah.
But
I totally get that.
really quickly, I was still able to, travel for like a week for vacation and go to visit friends even throughout this. But I still made sure to, track what I was eating,
Hmm.
always find a gym near me to work out at. So it worked out. I
Yeah.
didn't like balloon up in terms of losing progress.
Hmm.
Uh, I still stayed consistent. I maybe wasn't completely consistent through that week, but things worked out at the end. It balanced
Yeah.
all out.
Yeah, like it was still much better than like let's say if you were doing that alone like 4 months ago, because you actually have like a structured plan in place. But yeah, dude, and I love that you bring that up because I really think that nobody is coming to save you, and I say that a lot, but also it's just like a common saying, like nobody's coming to save you, especially like we as men, dude. Like not to get too like oh like men have it so hard, like, but it's just like how do I word this? Like yeah, really, dude, like you have to do what's best for you, man. Um, because if you don't, like nobody's gonna come to save you. Like your mom's not gonna help you out of the situation you're in. Your dad's not gonna help you. Your friends aren't gonna come and help you out. Like if you really want to pull yourself out of the mud, out of whatever situation you're in, you have to be willing to change and do it yourself. And I also love how you brought up that like it's not about like looking for excuses and victim blaming and being like, oh, like let's say my parents didn't teach me how to eat healthy, or like, oh, my friends are going out, so like I guess I have to go out and drink and eat like shit. It's like about having the mental fortitude to be like, I care about my goals and I want more for myself, so I know what I'm gonna do. Like, and I know it kind of sucks sometimes, but the goals I want are important to me. And so, yeah, man, I think it's absolutely about doing things for yourself. And I think a lot of people will relate to that, Jonathan. Like, yeah, you said not a lot of people will relate to like, not going out as much or cutting off like certain friends or not drinking as much. But like, I think fitness, at least when I started it as well, it like really teaches you aspects that translate to all like everywhere in your life. It teaches you discipline and that carries over to your career, to whatever you're working on. I'm sure it carried over to your schoolwork. And it teaches you, consistency, just being consistent. Because if you're not consistent, you're not going to see those results. So there's a lot that fitness really teaches you. And that's why I think like wherever you're at in life, man, like if you're not in shape, I think that's the first thing you need to take care of. Because like if you can get in shape, that's just gonna help you so much, man. It really is with teaching you discipline, consistency, but also just like the confidence. And this isn't a question I had originally planned, but like let's talk a little bit about that, man. Because like I feel like when we talk, we're always kind of flowing because we're more like I don't know, I feel like we're kind of like bros. But in terms of yeah, the confidence, man. Talk a little bit about that. Like, how has your confidence improved, and how do you feel like the gym really affects that?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that my quality of life has gotten a lot better in terms of confidence. I've been able to, talk to new people these past couple months, really like introducing myself with the manner of like respect and kind of demanding respect back. And people see that, and people have seen that I've been like a quite like genuine person.
Hmm.
uh, I think throughout, applying discipline in one aspect of my life, it's carried over throughout other aspects.
Yeah.
People have taken probably better interest in terms of, okay, this guy actually takes care of himself. This guy diets, works out. People have told me they're like, oh, well, like when I first met you, I thought you were probably like someone like pretty pretentious, but after meeting you, it turns out like you're actually a pretty genuine person.
Yeah.
Like they want to talk to me. So I think that, yeah, just applying yourself in terms of working out, going on this journey by yourself and really focusing on your own goals, it's gonna help you out in other places, and whether
Hmm.
it's making new friends, finding a girlfriend, anything
Anything. Yeah.
regarding to that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think it's the best thing anyone can do. Like if you're watching this right now and you feel like you're kind of stuck in terms of like maybe, your career, in terms of like, you're not in the shape you want to be in, and maybe like relationships as well. I think the best thing you can do right now is just get a gym membership and really just like start taking that serious. Because you'll see how quickly it begins to change your life, as Jonathan has just mentioned. And yeah, man, I think people just treat you with that certain respect, because they know that you take care of yourself. It's not just about like, oh, this guy like has muscles, he looks good. Like, sure, that is a part of it, because we as humans are like a little bit superficial, but it's also like, okay, this guy clearly goes to the gym every day. That means he's consistent in something in his life. Like, why wouldn't he be consistent? Like, if we were friends, why wouldn't he be consistent if I needed help with something, right? So people see that and they make like those quick judgments, and that's really going to help you, make those connections, right? But yeah, awesome, dude. I love that we talked about that. And then just my final question for you, man, is just like, what advice would you give to someone who, let's say they're stuck in that same position you were in before, and they're really just thinking about like, I don't know, like maybe I should join the program, maybe I shouldn't. And you can just be brutally honest, man. Like, give it your full honest opinion.
Yeah, so I guess my advice would be just start now. I kind of do wish that I did start a little bit earlier in terms of finding someone to help me. So I actually was, to be brutally honest, like looking into you as a coach back in, I want to say about November or something.
Hmm.
But then I told myself, I'm gonna, do this on my own. Don't worry about it. Give the rest of November off, December off. We'll see how it goes, and then by January time comes, we'll look back into it. So I did my own thing, tried
Hmm.
what I knew worked, and it didn't necessarily move me in terms of the scale. Maybe my
Hmm.
strength increased, but nothing more than that. And I'm not really looking for that right now in terms of my goals. I mean, I'm already pretty strong, so I don't
Yeah.
really care much about that.
Yeah.
Uh, but in terms of like needing an extra method of support through like a coach or just a support group, kind of like this community, and then also just like resources that you have already pre-prepared that I don't even have to think about looking up online.
Mhm.
That's really something that I was looking for, and it helped me out in terms of my goals. So it might help out other people in terms of their goals too. Nothing's a guarantee in life until you put in the work for it. And
Yeah.
just like you said earlier, the best time to start is to start now. And I'd recommend that. Maybe this might not be your goal, but for me, I want this more than anyone,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna kill to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I love that. I feel like this was such a good interview because I don't even think it was just like talking about like, it was talking about like your experience in the program, but also just like more like life and like fitness advice, and how like fitness and the gym has really changed both of our lives, which I love that, man. Um, and yeah, dude, I fully agree with that. Like for anybody watching, like if you've just even been thinking about getting in shape and it's been longer than like 2 or 3 months and you just haven't seen results, like literally nothing is gonna change unless like you actually do your own research and put in hours of effort to find a plan, find something that's going to work for you. Nothing is going to change, so like you may as well just start now, like Jonathan said. But yeah, I mean, it's all about knowing yourself. It's all about knowing yourself. Like, are you the type of person that's actually going to go out and do the research on your own, or do you just want to really not have to think about it too much and be like, okay, I'm just going to hire a coach, they can do the thinking and I'll just follow the plan. But yeah, Jonathan, it was awesome talking to you, man. Do you want to leave the viewer with anything, anyone you want to shout out, anything you want to say, like some advice, really just anything, man?
Um, I just want to be honest and let people know. There were moments where, I kind of did maybe give up on myself or maybe didn't follow exactly consistently, completely. There were moments where I did go out to drink once in a while, but it wouldn't be, every weekend. It wouldn't be for all 3 days of the weekend or whatever. I would eat like some junk food here or there, but it wasn't an everyday thing and it wasn't a weekly thing. It was just every time I needed to feel that, I can't be completely healthy, but in moderation, I know that I can be healthy.
Mm,
So there are things in life like this, but in terms of this goal, it can be okay because you're just gonna burn those calories off,
yeah,
or you're just gonna keep consistent with your plan. Things are gonna work out. So don't worry about it, if you
yeah,
go out once to drink, or if you get some fast food here or
yeah.
there.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I love that you brought that up, man, because it's huge. And I feel like I'm always saying that like binge eating recovery and just eating healthier is like a marathon, not a sprint. And so I always say like it's not about snapping your fingers and never binge eating again. It's about just reducing the amount of times it happens. And so I love that you brought that up, man, because it's so important to have the mindset like, okay, it's not that like I'm never gonna binge eat again. I just know it's gonna happen less and less and less. Because if you have that mindset of like, okay, I can never eat junk food, I can, never drink, and then you accidentally do it, you're gonna feel terrible about yourself. And that's typically where like the restrictive cycle comes, where like you're running miles of cardio or you're lowering your calories way too much. So it's important to have that sense of like forgiveness and like, okay, like I drank last night, or like, okay, I had like some donuts last night. Let's move on. Today's a new day. Let's kill it. It's a normal day. I'm gonna eat my regular amount of calories. I'm gonna do my workout as scheduled. And yeah, that's how life is. It moves on with or without you. So I love that you brought that up, man. And yeah, Jonathan, it was great talking to you, man. If you guys want to hit him up on IG, I'll make sure to leave it tagged below. And yeah, we'll end it right here.